to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got a fun little weekend kickoff show tonight. We're going to be talking about the first 19 games of Anthony Volpe's career, what we've seen, what we like, any concerns that we may have. We'll also talk about the Blue Jays series coming up. We'll see if Garrett Cole can continue his dominance. Joining me tonight are Pete from NYY News TV and Frankie Baseball. We've got a quick ad from our sponsor for tonight, and then we'll get on with the show. These days, anyone can find out pretty much anything on the internet, including your full legal name, your personal email, home address, phone number, etc., even the name of your relatives. This information is accessible because of data brokers who profit by selling your information to robocallers, telemarketers, spammers, and other annoying baddies. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt out of your junk mail and telemarketing lists. You can use my link, aura.com/NYY Recaps, to try for 2 weeks and see how many data brokers are sharing your information. It's also linked in my description, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online. Use my link or code to get 2 weeks free. Get started today. Again, that's aura.com/NYY Recaps. Welcome back, everybody. You will notice that we are doing this a little bit earlier than we usually do on Friday nights. I thought it was a bit hectic to try and do back-to-back streams on Friday night. So we're trying to kind of bookend the weekend series with the Blue Jays. We'll see how it works out. We're doing this show tonight, and then Designated Spit is on Sunday on Pete's channel. So that being said, welcome Pete. Welcome Frankie.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy to be here.
So, Pete, Yanks are 12-7. Lower third of the pack offensively, 60% of the rotation on the IL, yet they keep winning series. How you feeling about the team right now?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling really good. Obviously, we have concerns. We know that. But as you just said, we are winning series. And when you got important guys out, and we have some pretty significant names that are out right now that we haven't even got to see with the Yankees in 2023 yet, this is the best you can ask for. This is the best you can ask for, is that the Yankees continue to go out there. They're winning series. They're above water. That's where you want to be right now to start the year with all the issues that are out there for the Yankees.
Yeah, I feel like pretty much everything that has gone wrong, or everything that could go wrong, has gone wrong so far. I mean, luckily Judge has been on the field. Nothing bad has happened to Cole yet. I mean, we've got our two, the two sphinxes of stability. But, we lost Stanton. We lost 3/5 of the rotation. And the fact that we keep winning, I think, is encouraging. But I would like to see a little bit better production with men in scoring position. I'd like to see a little bit more stability out of Clay Holmes. And we got to do something about Clark Schmidt. I'm just not I'm not seeing how they can run him out there again. What are your thoughts on Schmidt?
Yeah, Clark is an interesting one, man. I mean, on top of the list of everything that the Yankees have either going wrong or just question marks, now you add closer to the question mark. And it's definitely a spot where the Yankees are going to have to address it at some point. I'll be honest with you, man. After watching this bullpen right now, I don't know if the Yankees have a closer. I really don't. I don't know if they have somebody where we were spoiled. I get it. We were spoiled all those years with Mo. We were even spoiled with Chapman for a little while, and Rafael Soriano we were spoiled with for a little while, who was fantastic for the Yankees with the great untuck after games, which is always fun to see. But, right now it's tough. I can't personally look at Clay Holmes and go, this guy's going to be okay, don't worry about it. I can't say that. I can't say it.
Let me just scooch around some stuff. We got some new stuff on the screen. We got the a number of subscribers or viewers in the chat. Frankie, how you feeling? What you been up to this week? I hadn't talked to you much.
Just watching the Yankees, like you guys have been following this team, being really encouraged. It's way too early for me to be panicked about this. I know there's a lot of people that want to write off this team already. I saw that, like people wanting to write off Volpe, which hopefully those people feel really stupid after yesterday and what they've seen in the last 8 games. I mean, what's the guy batting 304 in his last 8? It's like, shut up. Like people that wanted to write on Volpe, shut up. But I'm honestly, yeah, it could be better. But honestly, we're the only team that hasn't lost a series yet. So I'm genuinely encouraged. Yeah, there's health problems with this team, but overall I'm happy. By the way, can you make my box any smaller, Derek? It seems like I'm turning into a Where's Waldo.
I think he asked. I think he just asked you if you can make it smaller. So
asking you shall receive.
Bye, Frank. Bye, Frank. See you later, Frank. Good knowing you.
All right, let's talk about.
Sarcastic.
Let's talk about Anthony Volpe here real quick. So we've seen 19 games. I think we're seeing him be a lot more comfortable. He's obviously been in the leadoff spot since Giancarlo went down. I think he's going to remain in the leadoff. I'll be surprised if he ever goes back to the leadoff spot at this point because I think he's getting ready to take off. He's causing havoc with his legs. How do you feel about him stealing with Judge at the plate? Is that something you want to happen, or is that something you want him to kind of chill?
You know what? For me, man, I'm all for it. The Yankees haven't had. I made a joke about it. I'm like, Judge has no idea what the hell to do because he never sees guys on base when he comes up. So this is brand new for him. And I don't know, man. I like the guy that causes havoc. And I know Boone talked to him after that. I think Judge was a little upset by it too, a little bit, based on what we get to visually see. But I like it, man. The Yankees haven't had that in a very, very long time. A guy that wreaks havoc. On the base paths. You could tell he bothers pitchers. He does this fun little hop and everything up and around, and it's just it's exciting to see. I love Volpe on the base paths. I think it's almost much-watch TV when he's on base.
So I love the hop. I get concerned about a pickoff throw when he's in midair because it's going to be tough to change directions. What I think he's trying to do is draw a couple of throws by being kind of antsy, and then once you get past that second pickoff throw, then his hop gets ridiculous. Like then he gets way out there, and I think it's just like a little mental game. You see it right there. He's already in motion when the pitcher's getting ready to deliver the ball. So I mean, he's got it mastered. There was an article in The Athletic about how a lot of teams are trying to copy this now because the Yankees really put it into. I guess they implemented this when it first came to the minor leagues a couple years ago. They implemented this in motion system. So I'm digging it. So far, though, 193 average, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. I got to feel like the average is going to climb. If you look at his previous 7 games before last night, he was hitting 304, 448 on base percentage, 927 OPS. Are you still feeling like he's a Rookie of the Year candidate?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of time for that. I believe, I don't have the metrics in front of me, but I believe he has to be, based on the numbers, one of the best defensive shortstops in the league so far. I can't imagine he's far off from the top. But I do still see him as a guy that could win the Rookie of the Year. And again, I had less expectations, I think, of Volpe than a lot of people. And I think they were just more realistic. I said 240, 15 to 20 homers, and he steals bags, and I'm a happy guy. And I still think that expectation is very, very possible for Volpe. Does he have a chance to be even better than that? Of course he does. Why not? But I want to see Volpe go a good week with a couple of balls that he just stings.
Yeah.
I want to see a couple of bullets down the line to left field, a couple of long drives to right center field, like we've seen him do in the minor leagues. That's not new. And speaking of the hop at first base, I was at a game in last year when AA faced the Flying Squirrels, and he did get picked off mid-hop at first base. So funny thing you bring it up.
It's probably going to happen time to time. Let's talk about Garrett Cole. He's pitching tomorrow. He is 4-0. He's got a sub-1 ERA. Let's just say, just devil's advocate, he gets bombed tomorrow. Is that going to change your opinion on him having turned the corner this year, or do you think it's just going to be like he was due to get bombed?
Yeah, no, that wouldn't worry me one bit. One, the Blue Jays are a good team. They're a good fastball hitting team. But the thing for me with Garrett Cole is it's going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be hard for him to get bombed, but if he continues to look the way he has and that fastball command is there, I expect it to be very tough for any team to manage Garrett Cole. Does that mean that a team's not going to get a couple of homers off him in a game? Of course, Garrett Cole's going to give up home runs still. I know he hasn't given up one this year. I still think Cole's going to be one of those guys that they give homers up. He throws a lot of fastballs. Guys are going to hit it eventually. But the difference of Cole this year is what you're seeing on the screen. I mean, great stuff here. You could just, nothing's over the middle of the plate. It's either high, corners, a little too far outside if he needs to, or just dotted. And this is the best Garrett Cole we have seen so far for the New York Yankees. No question about it.
Yeah, he looks like the Garrett Cole down the stretch in that final season with Houston. So that's encouraging. The fastball, I mean, you mentioned it. Look, it dotted on the outside corner. Dotted on the outside corner. It's like you can just watch the highlights and see why he's having success. That was a breaking ball. It got the middle of the plate, but it was a breaking ball, and it buckled his knees because it looked like it was going to be outside. There was a video from the Pitching Ninja that explained how he does this with tunneling, where he essentially makes all of his pitches look exactly the same for about the first 10 feet out of they come out of his hand. And that essentially just reduces the amount of time that a hitter has to adjust and put the bat on it. I'm liking
Derek,
that.
I was just going to add from what you're talking about right there when you show that slider down the middle. And you know this too, that the reason he got away with that he wouldn't get away with it last year is because of the fastball command.
Yeah,
exactly because of that fastball command. So those are the things that he has to continue to do.
Aaron has an excellent comment. He says the pitch clock is good for Cole. I agree. I feel like it kind of takes the onus off of him to think about it. Like he just has to make a decision. We talked about this on your podcast, that sometimes just making a decision, no matter what the decision is better than making no decision and just kind of being unsure about what you're going to throw. Throwing whatever you're going to throw and executing it with confidence is important for a pitcher. But yeah, 4-0, 0.95 ERA, more than a strikeout per inning, obviously. Nestor's look pretty dominant too.
Ooh, awesome, man.
So I mean, the top
all
two,
that stuff with Nestor is gone, man. There's no more questioning who Nestor Cortez is. Nestor's the man. That is it. He's the top of the rotation guy.
I agree, and I still think that Rodon, we're going to get him back soon. The back stuff. I mean, it worries me. The repetitive stress injuries worry me. I'm not going to lie. Back issues can be a real pain in the ass. But at some point, he's got a 6-year contract. If you're just going to have a nagging injury, it's like, okay, take some Advil and take the ball, right? As long as he doesn't have any structural damage, which they don't think he does, it's like, get out there. I'm a little bit worried that they sent him for a CT scan after an MRI. Typically, an MRI is more revealing than a CT scan, but a CT scan can pick up on things like hairline fractures. So they must be at least worried that there's a spinal fracture, a stress fracture of some kind. And if that happens, you're probably talking surgery. You're probably talking, at least out for the season, if not more.
Yeah, I would think so if that's the case. So fingers crossed on him, man. Yankees, my opinion, they need him back. And if they go very, very far this year, I think you really need that 1-2 punch at top, those K guys. And let's hope that we do get some good news on him very soon.
All right, let's take a look at the lineup. We're also going to do some voicemails on this screen, but I asked you before we started to hold off on mentioning this. The big takeaway is Oswald Peraza. I saw you did a video about this. I'm loving that he's at third base. Yep. Even Frankie's excited. He didn't even know what's going on, but he's excited.
Frankie, what are you watching behind that screen? Are you clapping for? I know it's not us.
No, it's you guys. I promise. There's nothing else. This is exciting. Peraza at third. We don't need Donaldson anymore.
Yeah, well, the fact that Donaldson's going to be out at least a couple of weeks, there was a tweet from Brian Hoke today. Did you say good? Oh,
yes.
So he's going to be out at least a couple of weeks. I feel like this is one of those situations where you're not going to get anything out of Donaldson this year. I mean, it's becoming pretty obvious. The guy's, he's going to come back. His reflexes are slow, hasn't played in a couple of months. He's going to take forever. They're going to end up, somebody's going to steal his job over the next couple of weeks. And I think they're giving an opportunity to Oswald Peraza to do it. They obviously want to get DJ LeMahieu more time at DH because he's been swinging the bat better. But what are you looking for from Peraza out of the third base position tonight?
For me, the minute I saw it, I actually had a friend call me because I wasn't paying attention to the Yankees at all. And a friend called me and told me about it. And I tell you what, man, my initial reaction was, wow, this is the Yankees that we've been asking for and waiting for a while. I'd never cared if it was second. I don't care if it was third. I just always believed second was more likely. And I still think it could be possible that it is likely, but the Yankees are going to see what he could do at third. The great thing, and to tell all here, it tells you who Oswald Peraza is. The Yankees are taking a guy that most people, you want to believe Baseball America and those guys, go right ahead, that he is the best defensive shortstop that the New York Yankees have. We've seen how good Anthony Volpe is, no doubt about it. Here's something telling. Derek, I know you pay close attention to these things. That ball yesterday that he blocked was on the shortstop side of the bag.
Yeah.
And Oswald Peraza has that much range. He was still able to block that ball from second base. Then he goes on the left side and shows great range. Oswald Peraza at third base makes a lot of sense. He has a cannon for an arm. He's already played that left side. I know people always bring up, but it's a different position. Still the left side, so the angles are similar.
Yeah.
I think Peraza is going to be a natural at third base. I don't see it being something where it's like, oh man, there's going to be a slow roller and he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'm very excited. About what this could mean for the future of the Yankees.
And look, it's not like he's never played third base before in his life. You know, this is probably a guy who's been taking grounders at third base for years. You know, he knows that, you know, you've got to be able to be flexible. He knows that there's a competition at shortstop. He wants to stay on the Yankees. He probably saw that Donaldson sucked last year and said, you know what, this winter I'm going to take some balls at third base. He's probably played on all-star teams with other shortstops where he's played third base, things like that. So I feel comfortable with him over there. I'm not necessarily looking for any kind of, I guess, field awareness issues or anything like that. I think you let him go out there and play, and if he makes any kind of problems or any kind of issues, just let him deal with it, take his lumps, and get better and learn. But yeah, I think it's exciting. Let's play a couple of voicemails here. We got this one is, I don't remember who this is from. Hang on just a second.
Hey, this is Scott.
Scott.
Been a fan for, I don't know, maybe 2 years now, 2 seasons. We need to get rid of Donaldson. We need to get rid of Hicks. And to be honest with you, I don't see why eating a bit of each of their contracts and tossing in Peraza or even a Dominguez for a Shohei.
Oh God.
For Shohei?
What?
Oh, I hate to discourage people from calling, but you should smoke less crack. First of all, they're not trading Shohei. You'd have to give them the deed to Yankee Stadium right now to get Shohei. But I do think that the Yankees might be in to sign him this winter, despite the price tag. He's just so valuable.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're past the point of anybody wanting to trade for Donaldson or Hicks. Donaldson's hurt. Hicks can't play. Not going to happen.
At this point, yeah, the money's on the books already. DFA him. Adios.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Take
I
care.
just knew the first call. was going to be somebody saying DFA Donaldson.
I mean,
Just knew
it's always something.
Hi, I'm Aaron from Manhattan, and I'd just like to say that today's Thursday, April 20th, and as of today, Madison Bumgarner has been DFA'd from the Diamondbacks, and I think that this is yet another time to reiterate the fact that Hicks needs to be DFA'd from this team. I mean, look, Madison Bumgarner has $37 million on his contract that's owed by the Diamondbacks. Hicks has $30 million, and Hicks cannot do anything with the ball. Really hope that
Come on, Frankie, reel it in.
DFA'd is like Galvin has his front office to actually do the same thing with Hicks. All right? Thank you. Love the recaps. Have a good one.
Yeah, I mean, how did I know that was coming? You can't suggest you can't even suggest adding a player to this roster without immediately going to Hicks as the subtraction. Look, I caught some heat on Twitter today because I suggested the Yankees should take a look at Madison Bumgarner. I want to give you my thoughts, Pete, and I want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. So, you know, we know that running Clark Schmidt out there is a mistake. It's going to be 4 or 5 runs in 3 innings pretty much every time at this point. Mad Bum has not been much better. In fact, his ERA is a little bit worse, but I feel like he might have been kind of counting on pitching the whole season. He's a little bit older. Maybe he's pacing himself. So, for the minimum, I think it would be worth it to pick him up for at least one start and say, hey, don't worry about pacing yourself. Empty the tank for 3 innings. Get us through the lineup one time and let the bullpen take it from there. And if he looks good, let him do it again. And if he struggles, you didn't spend anything to get him, so just cut him. Thoughts?
Yeah, Man, I'll put it very, very simple for you. Everything you said is correct. And on top of that, too, let's not act like the Yankees haven't made crazier moves than this. I mean,
Right.
you know what I mean? Come on now.
Canseco.
This is a team that brought Sidney Ponson back 2 times. I mean, we got even more than that we could sit here and discuss. But let's be honest here. Look, even if Bumgarner doesn't have it, what's the risk? The risk is you say, hey, sorry, didn't work out here either. See you later. You got to figure out what you got to do. One thing Matt Blake has been able to do is whatever it is, he seems to add velocity on a lot of guys. I'm not saying his first start had come here and all of a sudden he's throwing 95, 96. But, I mean, what is it? Is it really going to hurt the Yankees that much to take a chance on this guy? Worse than what Clark Schmidt is? How do you get much worse than that? So the one difference is Bumgarner's kind of been there and done it. He's a veteran. He's also a lefty at Yankee Stadium, mind you, which is always nice to have. You go with it. Try it. Why not? If the Yankees did it, trust me, I'll say it right now. You're not going to hear me knocking it. You're not going to hear me knocking it at all. I would be okay with it.
Can we talk about his picture? Dude looks like he's fucking dying. Can we get this guy a cheeseburger?
I'm telling you, he looks like he's on his last legs, to be honest. I mean, that's tough right there.
Happy to be pitching in Arizona. I mean, jeez. I mean,
smile. Can we say anybody said somebody before that was like, jeez, and he just looked like that. He's like, the hell with this shit.
I don't know.
Derek, you're older than him.
Yeah, I am. I'm older than a lot of people, Frankie.
Isn't he? He's 33, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he?
I'm older than him, man. I'm telling you what, he looks a lot worse than most 30-something-year-olds I've ever seen.
Well, you know what? He does look like he lost some weight. Maybe it's worth calling up CC Sabathia and saying, get in here and talk to Madison Bumgarner, teach him how to pitch with less body mass. Teach him how to pitch in Yankee Stadium. I mean, we don't know if he's healthy or not. He slings the ball. It looks like it's probably tough on your shoulder a little bit. He throws across his body the way Kenny Rogers used to. But Kenny Rogers pitched until he was 72 fucking years old.
Yeah.
So
facts. I take him. I try it. Why the hell not? What's it really gonna do for the Yankees not to try him out? I mean, who cares? Why not?
All right. Any predictions for this weekend? How you feeling about 2 out of 3?
Oh, man, we got a big match. I mean, tonight's a good one. Kikuchi, as I always say, he has a big Kikuchi is pitching tonight. So that's going to be an interesting match. And we'll see how Domingo Germán bounces back from a good outing. And then tomorrow, folks, is a can't-miss ball game. You got Alek Manoah taking on Garrett Cole. This is one everybody wants to see. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for that game. And it's the Blue Jays, man. It's a team that I still feel like later in the season we're going to be looking at both of these teams going, that's the matchup. Those are the two beasts of the East. Not counting out the Rays, but it just seems like you got to count the Rays out. I don't know why. Even though they're always there, you just don't think about them too much. But they're somehow always there. But I think the Jays they're a tough team, man. It's a tough lineup. I like to see how the Yankees pitching does against them today.
How's Vladdy doing this year, Frankie? Look up Vladdy's numbers. I feel like he hasn't been doing as good. So we got differing opinions. I feel like I haven't seen him on the highlights as much.
So he's got 3 home runs. He's batting .338, 9 RBIs. His WAR is under 1.9. 74 at bats, 25 hits, 419 OBP, 473 slugging.
I think it's been who Chapman and Bichette have been kind of carrying that load on that team, I believe.
Yeah.
Trying to find a good spot for this viewers in the chat thing. I'm trying not to eat up too much real estate. I was messing with the look today. And let's see here. Copy of watching
Frankie's
this stream.
So damn small down there. Man. I love it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to fix Frankie. Oh, Frankie,
I'm back.
There we go. Let's get super close vision. There we go. I'm gonna zoom in. There we go. Get just the
Dalton Varshaw's not having a great start either. 234 only.
What's Dante Bichette doing?
354. 354 average, 4 homers, 12 RBIs. And then the beast in that lineup right now is Matt Chapman, 397, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs.
Huh.
I don't know what the hell's going on there, but okay.
Well, I feel like the Yankees, if they pitch, they can get through this lineup. Let's try this up here. I feel like if they pitch well, they can get through the lineup. The Blue Jays, I mean, obviously a good team, obviously play the Yankees very tough, but somehow they never win as many games as the Yankees. It's like they have weaknesses, so I think we'll get through it. All right, guys.
If I could touch really quickly on
Sure.
a comment in here to take on Scherzer's ejection and suspension. I brought this up yesterday so everybody understands that anytime an umpire throws you out for sticky stuff, it's a guaranteed 10 games. So that wasn't like
automatic.
an extra punishment. I do agree with Eric Kratz on this. I do think Scherzer was a little targeted here. That was weird, man. I mean, look, they confirmed it's rosin. Apparently he may have doubled up on it and it was a little stickier than normal. I don't know, man. If you're going to allow these guys to use rosin, you got to let them use it, and that's it. You got to just turn your head, I guess, and be okay with them using rosin. We had the issue with Domingo Germán. Give these guys something to use. Rosin's allowed. If they're making the rosin sticky, then oh well, that's the way it goes. What do you want us to tell you?
Yeah.
It's a sticky situation, as they like to say.
Yeah. The fact that an official was there and okayed him to go back out bothers me with the suspension. I feel like this is one instance where he could, he gets suspended automatically, but he might be able to successfully appeal.
Yep.
That might happen.
I agree. We'll see what happens.
Somebody says, Max swore on his kids he's guilty as sin. I don't know. I mean, look.
They admitted it's rosin. They didn't say it was something else. They said it was rosin. So
yeah.
I don't know how you hold the guy accountable for that.
Frankie, what are your thoughts? Suspended or no?
I mean, I understand the rule that you guys talked about. If you get rejected, if you get rejected, it's automatic suspension. But this should be appealed. If that was rosin, if they can prove that was rosin, then yeah, it should be taken away in the appeal. It's stupid too.
I think Phil Cuzzy said it was. He was like, it was rosin, but it was doubled up too much. He said when he checked the finger, their fingers stuck together.
But no matter how much rosin it is, it's still rosin. It's not sticky stuff.
Rosin. And that's the tough part that baseball is going through right now is how do you enforce this and what can these guys use, because they got to use something, and rosin is there for that. You can make it stickier. You can use different, sweat, different things, the sunscreen, all that stuff makes it stickier. But if they're allowed to use it, they got to be able to use something. Just another weird thing for Major League Baseball. They're worried about, having ghost runners on second base instead of, making sure pitchers have a substance to use to stay healthy on the mound. But
Manfred has his priorities in order.
What do we know?
All right, guys. Well, that was fun. What do you say to doing this pregame next week instead of doing the late night?
I like it like this, actually. I think it's fun. We can discuss big moments. We could discuss the actual upcoming game. We can discuss the lineup for the day. I like this format. This is good.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's a new show. We're trying to figure out our, the right balance of when to have it and get the best audience and all that stuff. But, it is what it is. We've finally got the chat working. I've been screwing with it the whole fucking show, and it's finally showing up on the screen. So, whatever. New technology. That's the problem with trying to set it up beforehand, is that I can't test it with the chat. So you've got to kind of figure out on the fly, and it looks stupid. So we just kind of sacrificed some of my dialogue to do some background stuff. But all right, guys. So check out Pete's going to be doing a live stream of the game.
Yes, sir.
As you do pretty much every night on NYY News TV. Then Sunday we're going to be doing Designated Spitters at 7:00 on your channel. Where we kind of recap everything that went on this weekend. So that'll be fun. That's always a good time. Any final thoughts, Frankie?
No, just let's go Yankees. It's a big series coming up. I think we're going to win this one. And actually, I like this. I like this nice box you put me in here. This is better. It's better than the small one you had me where you can barely see me. I like this.
Nobody puts Frankie in the corner except me. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Hey, everybody. If you've made it this far, we thank you. If you'd like to support NYY Recaps, please like and subscribe or pay a visit to our Shopify store for some great Yankees merch. Yes. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description. But if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, just visit NYYRecaps.shop. If you really want to support NYY Recaps and help keep the show going year after year, join up as a member. It's $5. And members get their names up in lights during each post-game show. We're also on all podcast platforms, Instagram, and Twitch this year. So give us a follow if you use any of those platforms. We're expanding, and we have you to thank for making this such a great community. We'll see you next time.
It is your destiny.
Case closed.
Ball game over.
most impressive.